Guten Tag.
Bitte bringen Sie mir einen englischen Tee.
Sofort, mein Herr.
Bitte bringen Sie mir ein Messer und eine Gabel.
Messer und Gabel. Messer und Gabel, mein Herr.
Dankeschön.
Bitte schön.
Die Nazis kommen! Schnell! Ungewählte Gäste! Verstehst du?
Ich habe doch nichts getan, kann mir niemand helfen.
What are you doing? Why are you?
Bist du Jude? Bist du Jude?
I'm an American. Ich bin Amerikaner.
Ah, komm her!
Ja, Jungs, weiter so!
Yes, Marion. We all know how disturbed you were by what you saw in Europe last year.
Sidney, we are the Foreign Affairs Council.
Yes. And you are the publication's editor, not the policymaker. Marion, you know how touchy this business is. Most Americans want no part of any coming war in Europe.
And even among those who do, there's as many sympathetic to Hitler as there are hostile.
It's only because they have no idea what's really going on.
What makes you so damn superior, Barry? Our people are well educated. They read newspapers. And just because they don't believe that Mr. Hitler is about to gobble up all his neighbors doesn't make them stupid.
It certainly makes them wrong. And even without a war, what of Germany's Jews?
Well, what about them? What would you have us do?
Save them.
by bringing them to America. And then we'd need to be saved from them. As I see it, we already have all the Jews we need. Thank you very much. You can't turn around nowadays without tripping over one of them. Well, stare at me all you like, but that is also government policy, isn't it?
Moving on. At least the south of France is unoccupied, give people a place to run.
Run, yes, but not to escape. The French will hand them over soon enough.
You can't mean that, Carl.
On the contrary, Mrs. Frank. Article 19 of the Franco-German armistice clearly states that the French must surrender to the Germans any person or persons that they may demand.
My brother Heinrich is in Marseille. If my brother stays too long, the more likely it is he will be picked up by the French.
We can't let that happen.
We can hardly stop it, Barry.
Why so? America isn't in the war. As long as we're still neutral, we can get someone inside.
But that's not the same as getting people out. Besides, there must be tens of thousands of poor souls stranded in Marseille.
Quite so. We certainly can't save them all, but perhaps a few dedicated Americans, if they concentrated on a special few. We all know that the Nazis have a particularly cold hatred for artists and intellectuals they consider degenerate. Your brother Heinrich, perhaps the most important novelist of our time, is on their list. Well, now, we can make our own list. Heinrich. None.
Hannah Arendt wrote from Marseille.
Hannah.
Such a fine mind would be a terrible loss.
No, I got it. There you are. There's two. It's simple. We form a committee. A response to the emergency. An attempt to rescue just those who are the soul of Western civilization, whose very work is what makes them a target for the fascists. And we try to get someone inside, someone to bring these people out.
European travel now requires special passport endorsement from the State Department. Only relief workers can get those.
The YMCA will accredit me.
You.
And why not me?
Well, even if you could get the people out, how could you get them into the United States?
Because we'll have lobbied for our cause in Washington. We're not people without influence.
Lobbying, seeking visas, these things take money, Marion.
There's enough wit around this table to organize a fundraiser, for goodness sake. Surely the curator of the Metropolitan Museum knows of someone else?
Jack Lipschitz.
Jacques
The sculptor and
Lipschitz?
Bertha Franz Werfel. The Germans hate his books.
And Marc Chagall has fled Paris.
Marc Chagall. Yes.
Almost ready, Berlin.
Too quiet, Eileen. If you're concerned with what we're doing, I wish you'd say so.
Raising money to save these poor people has my full support. It's what comes next that worries me.
Someone has to bring them out.
Varian, you're an intellectual. A man of ideas. Those are unlikely assets in occupied France.
Nonsense. My French and German are impeccable. Anyway, I won't be in occupied France. The refugees I intend to save are in the south of France. Vichy.
Perhaps. Do you think that you're the best person to physically bring them out?
I have no idea. Personal courage is not a subject to which I've given much thought. I haven't had to. I may turn out to be nothing but a weakling when push comes to shove, but no one else will go. Besides, all I want of this group is some money for now. Carl.
A full house and in a happy mood.
And I hope in a generous one.
Hard to say. This is not a crowd that usually gives much thought to European Jews. You have your work cut out for you.
see you here, Clifton.
Wouldn't miss it. I've got eclectic interests.
Hope we can count on you.
Not likely. I'm an obedient citizen. Good neutral, you know. Hardly seems the type to play Moses and lead the Hebrews through the Maasai wilderness.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for joining us on this important occasion. We lucky Americans must ask ourselves...
Sorry, I'm late. I didn't miss a thing.
And so, I give you the man who's been the guiding force behind the Emergency Rescue Committee, Mr. Varian Fry.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence today. In this troubled time, perhaps more important than anything else is how we deal with the horrors unfolding in Europe. I will refer to my notes.
He's as forceful with the Germans as he is a public speaker. The war should be over in a week, don't you think?
We have the ERC, we have a three-step plan. Cases, but I believe I can persuade the State Department to issue me the necessary documents. So that is our cause. Are there any questions whose answers might encourage your support? Yes.
Assuming you get a passport and you find your way there, what then? There must be thousands of refugees.
Yes, but the ERC is concerned with the persecuted intellectuals.
Where will you take them? We won't give them visas. No point in taking them to the Limeys either. They'll be beaten by Christmas.
Won't you be arrested?
How will you find them? How will you get them out? Listen, old man, we're all on your side here. It's just that, well, quite frankly, it all seems a bit half-baked.
Sure it does. That's what happens when an ancient nation such as France collapses in a mere 27 days. There's not much time to react. But react we must. What we do now, how we rise to the challenge, will be how our children will judge us. The darkness descending over Europe might keep the night for 1,000 years. You ask me, why the intellectuals? Because it is precisely the artists, poets, and writers whom the Nazis hate the most, for they are keepers of the soul of Europe, the best of that civilization. If their voices be stilled, then who will sound the call to the rest of the world? You ask me, how will I get them out? I cannot say, not here, not today. But if I have to bring them out one at a time on my back or in the water or over the Pyrenees, then that is what I will do, because I am an American. Because my country has been the beacon to the world, the messenger of liberty. To fail these people now would be to fail my country and fail my conscience. Do I ask that you take up arms? No, I ask only that you reach into your pockets to share some of the plenty that America has showered onto you to save a few persecuted men and women for whom a moment of their God-given freedom is but a distant dream. Be brave with your money, and the ERC will be brave with your spirit of freedom and human dignity. Let us be liberty's torch. Let us light up the darkness.
I still think he's a dandy, but if he wants to risk his life, so be it.
No. Bad business, eh?
Wars, in fact, tend to be good for business, but bad for people, particularly sensitive ones.
Oh, no, the bad business is your business, Mr. Fry. We in the State Department take a very dim view of private citizens gallivanting about Europe and interfering in things.
I wasn't planning on gallivanting.
you did plan to interfere.
If you define trying to save innocent souls as interference...
Well, I do when it amounts to meddling in another nation's internal affairs. Besides, who's to say who's innocent and who isn't? That's a matter of their law, not your holier-than-thou opinion. The State Department will not be issuing you a passport valid for travel in Europe. Good day, Mr. Fry.
Were you aware that Mr. Fry was an accredited war refugee worker?
I gather we were, ma'am. But even so, things are a mess over there. In the absence of a clear policy...
I believe my husband has articulated American policy quite clearly. While the United States remains neutral, her citizens are urged to do everything they can to assist the innocent victims of war. Is that not so?
I shall review Mr. Fry's application personally.
I know the President will be delighted when I tell him how helpful you're being.
Can I ever thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt?
Oh, no. It's I who should be thanking you. However, that Mr. Fry is Leon Furtwängler. Satirical work devastated Hitler in 1930. And that is the barbed wire of a concentration camp. He escaped to France, but the Germans demanded him under Article 19. The French are proving themselves most diligent. That concentration camp is French. So you see, things in Europe are much darker than anyone yet suspects. Perhaps the State Department is not completely foolish in trying to deny you a passport after all, were they?
No, perhaps not.
But I have confidence in you, Mr. Fry.
Thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt.
Take this photograph of this very brave man. Find him and bring him here to America.
Will the State Department grant him a visa? They routinely
The President
say no.
intends to create a new category of asylum for political refugees. So you find them, Mr. Fry. You get them out, and I will greet them myself with their papers in my hand if that's what it takes. Do we have an understanding?
We most certainly do, ma'am.
Excellent, Mr. Fry.
Rendez-vous à la statue. Meet me at the statue.
Joignez-vous à la Révolution nationale. Faites confiance au maréchal.
Et où allez-vous, monsieur?
Au Splendide.
Oh, the Splendid is overfilled and refuse even reservation. Now, I would say that the Hotel Suisse...
The Splendide.
Sigrid? Bien le bonjour, mon capitaine. Capitaine?
Je croyais que nous étions en zone libre.
Obéissez à l'État français. Joignez-vous à la Révolution nationale.
Bonjour, avez-vous du courrier pour moi?
Oui, bien sûr. Voilà, oui, il y en a pas mal d'ailleurs.
Oui, monsieur, puis-je vous aider?
Une chambre, la meilleure de la maison.
Have you any idea where you are, sir? Marseille is the most crowded city in Europe.
All the world seeks a bed. And this, monsieur, here, is splendid. It's the very, very best.
Huh? Very best, you say? I, sir, will be the judge of that. I am an American on a mission for Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt. Would your Vichy government applaud you for damaging my country's even-handed neutrality, sir? I suggest it would not. And what would your German friends make of it?
Je vous en prie, monsieur. And I have dollars. Cash. Donnez-moi les 704. Tiens, ça, dressing room.
Enfin, il me semblait que c'était la chambre qu'on gardait pour Pétain, non?
Toilette. Ça, c'est pour... Oh, merci, monsieur. Ça, c'est pour vous. Merci.
On a été à la pêche aujourd'hui, c'est bien.
Very good, sir. Please carry on.
Mr. Fry, to see Mr. Jameson.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Fry is here to see Mr. Jameson.
Fry. Hiram Bingham, Vice Consul. They call me Harry.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. I thought Mr. Hoover was no longer president.
Not at home, no. But maybe you'd better meet my immediate superior.
So, Mr. Fry, just for the record, who or what is the Emergency Rescue Committee?
Well, sir, an ad hoc group, Americans concerned with our country's common cultural heritage with Europe and anxious to try to keep it and preserve it. Loyal citizens, one and all.
Citizens. And I expect refugees who've already wormed their way into America. Immigrants?
Immigrants? Well, yes, as we're all Americans at one time. But we're not political. The YMCA can vouch for our worthiness, sir.
No one questions your worthiness, Mr. Fry, or your sincerity. But there's a war going on, and that's hardly a matter for, if you'll forgive me, amateurs. I can't imagine what you hope to accomplish.
Well, sir, for a start, Eleanor Roosevelt herself gave me that. and instructed me specifically to inquire as to his well-being.
Yes. The new president's wife.
Our president is in his third term, sir. We all serve at his pleasure, do we not?
Of course. So had it been Mr. Roosevelt asking the questions about this Furchtberger person, Mr. Fry, I can't help you. Nor can I stop you. But take care, sir. Vichy France may be unoccupied, but it nonetheless cares deeply about German sensibilities, as will any nation that desires a relationship with Europe once this war is over.
You have conceded the war to the Nazis? Is that Washington's official policy?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time Washington's assessment lagged behind those of us in the field. Harry here is the head of our visa section. Explain the real world to Mr. Fry, would you, Harry?
Of course, sir. Well, Mr. Fry, now, assuming you can actually locate these people, and assuming even further that you can secure a United States entry...
Mrs. Roosevelt suggested that there would be a special category.
Yes, I believe that is in the works. But your people would nonetheless need Vichy exit permits, and the French routinely pass all visa exit applications on to the Gestapo.
Even if the applicant is in Vichy?
Especially in Vichy. Marseille is packed with people the Germans have wanted for some time. As you know, the terms of the armistice require Vichy to surrender them on demand. So you see, Mr. Fry, you've probably come on a fool's errand. But provided you do nothing to compromise the American presence here, I'll let you discover that for yourself. Harry will see you out.
Sorry about that. There's not much to it, I'm afraid, old man.
I wonder, after all, if you really
So
understand.
where are you staying anyway, old man?
Splendid.
Oh, good show. Nice place. So myself, I have a villa on the top of Boulevard Rivet off Rue Paradis. Each side, of course, to catch the sun.
Sounds quite grand.
Oh, yes, yes. Belonged to my friends of my parents. They were Jews, actually. Left in a bit of a rush. So do stop by if you're in the neighborhood. We usually manage to have a good time.
Very clever of you. Good evening.
Car, montrez. Juif. C'est pas très sécuritaire de vous pour Allez, dans cet endroit-là. On va pas les yeux, là. On a vérifié ça pour l'identité. Ouais. Ça vous intéresse?
Monsieur, est-ce que c'est nécessaire?
Reste. Assis. Police d'État. Bureau des affaires juives. Carte.
American,
State Police. Office of Jewish Affairs. What is your interest here? You know this Jew? Are you a Jew?
You have my passport. I'm an American. If you need further information, you obtain it from the Consul General.
Consider yourself formally warned. Interfering with the business of the state is a serious crime punishable by execution. Next time you won't be treated so leniently. Mr. Fry. Allez, allez, Yankee! Tu filmes? Allez! T'as vu?
Il n'est pas ici. Alors, je savais, moi. Il faut lui dire. Très bien. Excusez.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Fry.
Wow.
I understand you enjoyed your afternoon?
Excuse me?
It is unwise to have any dealing with the officials, Monsieur Fry, especially the police d'État.
How could you possibly know in the time it took me to walk here?
Your passport is registered at the prefecture with this address. Besides, this is Marseille. There's no privacy here. Monsieur Fry.
Would you recommend a restaurant?
Non, désolé, monsieur, non. The war has changed Marseille. Food is scarce, and you are no doubt without fashion coupons. You must apply for this at the prefecture.
Arrivederci, dottore.
Buonasera, buon appetit. But even then, I fear our restaurants have little to offer.
Where do they dine?
The Armistice Commission? I have no idea, Monsieur Fry. They are Italians. They have their own ways.
How did you get about my place, monsieur?
I follow the Italians. They always know where to find the best food.
This is true. Do you have ration coupons?
I just arrived. I haven't had time. I have American dollars and I need a place to eat every night.
Bonsoir. Et pour monsieur?
Une bière, s'il vous plaît.
Coupon, monsieur? Coupon? Et pour le rationnement?
Oh, je viens juste d'arriver.
Allow me.
Too kind, really. Please, would you join me?
Thank you.
That's so kind.
American?
Yes, I am. Just arrived.
A strange place to visit nowadays.
I'm just a journalist. I came to see for myself.
Well, then welcome. You certainly lost no time in finding us. How did you hear of our little bar?
Well, I didn't know about it in particular before.
Please forgive me. I appear to have made an assumption.
Sorry, I'm very tired. It's a long journey, you understand. Thank you.
so sorry to bother you. I know no one else. I got lost. I had no idea where I was. I saw the street sign.
Good to see you, old man. I was wondering how long it would take for you to find me. Marseille can be so cold and dreary when you're alone. Oh, come in, do. We have much to talk about. And you must meet my house guests. Now, I think you know Lion Furtwanger. Lion, this is the chap I was telling you about. Brought your picture with him from the United States.
But you...
Yes, liberated, with the help of Martha and Mr. Bingham.
And this is Marc Chagall.
Pleasure.
Is this an elaborate practical joke? This afternoon you were downright discouraging.
Come on, you saw what Jameson is.
Does he know that you have guests?
Oh, heavens, no. No, I do this because it feels correct to me, old man. Not because my employers think it the right thing to do. Drink?
Brandy, if you have it.
I'm Bella, Mrs. Marc Chagall. Good evening. I'm Hannah Arendt.
Do sit down, old man.
Thank you. You're all on my list.
And what list is that?
The list of names I am instructed to help escape to America.
Why would anybody want to do that?
For freedom, of course.
But I am free. A little hungry, but free nonetheless. The war is over. Germany has won. Soon all will return to normal.
But Mr. Chagall, you're a Jew.
Yes. And I am living in France, not Germany. I am safe in my homeland. I have no need to go to America. Too crowded. All big cities.
But, sir, all Europe, including France, is little more than a German province. Given who you are, you must not forget that fact.
Monsieur Fry, I was like you when the last war started. And I was quite certain that there was never anything like it before, and that there would never be anything like it again. It was simply the old cycle repeating itself, and that's all this war is. You are a man of worldly affairs. I am an artist. I look to the ages for inspiration. I have no interest in passing fancies, which is all what Mr. Hitler is. A pleasure to meet you. But it is late, and I'm not as young as once I was.
Madame, surely you know better. He must be convinced how wrong he is.
Does it occur to you that he might be right?
No, that is not possible. Perhaps in 1,000 years, or even 100, Hitler might not matter. But that will be then. For now, for our generation, he is the challenge.
And as my husband has just said, for you that is as it should be. But perhaps Chagall himself is unwilling to be the weapon your generation uses. Good night, sir. Good night.
Bonne nuit, Madame Chagall.
Thank you, Mr. Bingham.
My pleasure, Madame.
I admire your rhetoric, Mr. Fry. The words of a courageous man. I trust that courageous acts support them.
That, Miss Arendt, remains to be seen. From the moment, it is difficult enough to deal honestly with the Chagalls. They're in a dream world.
You have to forgive them, old man. With each passing day, the more anti-Jewish laws are passed. Some can only handle it by denying reality.
Is it true, Mr. Fry? Do you intend to take us all to America?
Not intend, I shall.
Your certainty is impressive.
You doubt me?
Not your sincerity, no. But the Vichy French are usually as hateful as the Germans.
Yes. Exit visas are impossible. Even if the Gestapo has no objection, Vichy never issues them. Not to Jewish refugees, in any event.
Once again, Mr. Bingham, my appreciation, but it grows late.
Yes, I also imposed enough.
Let me show you out.
Look, I need help. If nothing else, I need advice. You're the only person that I have to talk to.
Sorry. By housing these poor souls, I'm already beyond my authority. Jimson knew what I was up to. I'd be on the first boat stateside. He thinks even the slightest resistance to Germany or Vichy is compromising to American policy.
On the contrary, what you're doing with these refugees represents the finest face of our country. Old man.
Look, you sit tight for the moment. Let me see what I can do for you without actually being seen at your side, if you follow me. Cheer up, old man. Just be a little patient.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good morning. I'm Miriam Davenport.
Who?
Miriam Davenport, your right-hand man. We have a mutual friend. One who has some of your friends as house guests.
Oh. Goodness, what time is it?
It's just after sunrise. So we'd better hurry if we want a decent breakfast. Or even a miserable one. Besides, we have people to see.
You already found candidates?
They found you. Welcome to Marseille, Mr. Fry. City of the desperate and the damned. Nothing and no one escapes their notice. Especially a potential savior.
How could they possibly know?
It's their job, Mr. Fry. The only one they've got, escaping Vichy. Did you honestly believe that a well-dressed American with Red Cross credentials could just check into the Splendide unnoticed?
Take your point. Won't be a minute.
What do you need to know about me?
Only that you're a friend of Harry's.
Yes, but I haven't slept with him.
That's none of my business.
No. Didn't mean to scandalize you. My fields art history, B.A. Vassar, Ph.D. Berlin. Speak fluent French, German, and Serbian.
Serbian?
Boyfriend. Current lover, to be precise. Well, not that current. He went back. Armed resistance. Once things cool down out there, I'll be on my way to him. Till then, anything I can do to screw the Germans and their Vichy French whores is the task. So, if you need me, you've got me.
Could you wait in the next room? This process will take place much more quickly if you wait and, please.
Sure. The police watch this place very carefully. Harry tells me you've already learned about them.
I have indeed. I gather they're keeping an eye on me. All the more reason to let people outside to make themselves scarce.
No. If they're in line, they know they have the papers the police will demand. They'll do nothing to annoy the hotel staff. They'll wait until a decent hour, come in one at a time. These people know the danger of attracting attention in a fascist state, Mr. Fry.
Varian, if we're to work together.
What's Varian?
Varian is my Christian name.
Oh, how wonderfully elite. Well, Varian, I'll be specific. The people you hope to get out will never go legally. Artists, intellectuals, scientists, the very people the Nazis and their French stooges fear the most. Those that they will do anything to silence.
What are you suggesting, that we do it illegally?
Or don't bother to waste your time.
Forgive me, Miss Davenport.
Miriam, if we're to work together.
Yes, well, Miriam, I'm afraid I have neither the authority nor the training to operate outside the law. So perhaps you can provide the training. If indeed we need to operate illegally to find the treasures on my list, it's vital, it seems to me, that we also run a wide open in the sunlight legal service to give these French police goons something to watch.
Bingham was dead on. You do learn quickly. We act normally while we put the real machinery in place, the illegal operation. We need a forger, but I know just the man. He's an expert, and I believe he's trustworthy. Although I haven't slept with him either.
Look, your sexual candor is, I find, distracting and it's very aggressive.
It's meant to be. Now, the crowd outside, we should see them immediately. It's what the French would expect.
The Germans strafed us. Thousands of refugees. I never saw my baby again.
You understand, our project is seeking refugees who might qualify as, say, intellectual workers.
I was a teacher. Thank you all the same.
Wait.
Brought a trunkload of cash in with you. You can't give a handout to everyone who comes in.
I brought as much money as I deem necessary. I'll send for more tonight. What are you doing?
It's elementary security. It's illegal to import currency without a permit. Do you want the Gestapo watching the French, watching you spend every dime?
Well, Miriam, I do wish you could try to be more hopeful. Things will work out. I'll find a way. Are you all right?
Yes.
We have business to attend to. I will try.
I was a professor at Heidelberg, medieval philosophy. I was well known, but I was discharged in 1933. The Nuremberg laws, you understand?
He was well known. That's important to history.
Yes, he was well known, but that was years ago. You can't save everyone. You have to save those who can still make a difference.
You are saving artists, and I must be the first on the list. I am the hope of the next generation. I am truly great.
Then I'll need to see some of your canvases, samples, and if I judge them worthy, then you'll be considered.
And who are you to judge?
I'm the world's greatest art critic. Would you call yourself an artist?
Artist? Yes, I suppose some of my clients would call me that.
I have to go to America. I'm an orphan now. I have nowhere to go.
My husband and I, we were writers, but not successful. No one can speak for us.
As a businessman, I assisted many artists to live comfortably.
When I was then too old to dance myself, I became a teacher of ballet.
Yes, that was my novel. I thought you admired it.
We were simple people.
It was a mistake.
I was to be a singer.
Before the war,
Even though I was a schoolgirl.
Gunshots burst into a wedding.
Tied into a vegetable.
Please tell my sister in jail.
While I was out, they took my mother to the camps.
How many qualified for the list?
11. You handed out enough money to the rejects to pay for 100 acceptables.
The worst part of it is that not one of the names I came with showed up. They're obviously hiding, afraid to come out like those at Bingham's, and we can't hold court up here every day.
Go home. The ship's sailed for the day. Come back tomorrow.
Sir, we are done for the day. We can't help you.
I came to help you.
How? In what way? How would you know what help we need?
It doesn't take a genius, Mr. Fry. You've got half of Marseille ready to line up here tomorrow. But the other half are out trying to get identity cards stamped genuine intellectual. He needs all the help you can get. Yeah?
Let him in.
Albert Hirschman. With the name Albert Hirschman, and member of the Social Democratic Party, I was one of the first Jews in Berlin to learn firsthand what the Nazis had in mind. So I went to Spain to fight Franco. We lost that one. I came to France and joined the army, and they surrendered. So I made my way out, collected all kinds of papers. I had the mayor of one small town sign the papers that looked like a birth certificate. What it actually said was, I swear that this man is alive because he is standing before me on this day.
A resourceful person. But, how well do you know Marseille?
Well enough. I know how to change American money without anyone knowing. I know how to set up an office. And I know how to navigate the streets of Marseille, literally and figuratively.
Well, Mr. Hirschman?
No. It's the name Hirschman. Please, just our secret, yeah?
Of course. Mr. Beamish. My good friend, Mr. Beamish, for your grand smile, and an Anglican minister I once knew.
Yeah, God bless.
Monsieur Fry, c'est pour vous.
Invitation to dinner from the German Consul General tomorrow.
Always interesting to dine with the butcher. The French must have told some about you. Now the Huns want to look for themselves.
Think you can rise to the occasion?
It's a snap.
Herr Fry. Welcome, Herr Fry. I am your host, Hermann Wille, General Consul of the Reich for this region. Of course, you know Herr Jameson.
Yes, indeed. It's such fun to see you again.
Fun? Well, yes, fun to see you again. Colonel Schubert, State Police Foreigners Bureau.
I wager you're a busy man nowadays.
Oh, la la, monsieur. You can't imagine. My wife, Frau Wille, Madame Schubert,
And Oberstleutnant cousin, Fräulein Michael. Ladies, how lovely you look. How marvelous to maintain standards even in wartime. Hello, nice to meet you.
And Oberstleutnant Franken.
Oh, delightful to meet you. Smashing outfit.
Guten Abend, Herr Frey.
Good evening to you too, Herr Oberstleutnant.
An aperitif, Mr. Frey.
Absolutely.
I can offer you a fine Spanish sherry or champagne.
Spanish sherry.
Heinrich?
So, Monsieur Frey, your arrival caused quite a stir in our refugee community.
Why, yes, it took me quite by surprise.
Really? I rather got the impression you expected to find an artist on every street corner.
Nowadays, in Marseille, you do. But the only painting they do is on their faces. Ladies of the night.
So, Mr. Frey. May I call you Varian?
By all means.
So, Varian, what do you think of Marseille?
It's a beautiful city. It's a jewel of the Mediterranean, although it's a bit crowded.
This is a temporary problem, caused by the occupation in the north, but that will soon be over. Once the English have had their arrogant little bottoms good and properly spanked.
Perhaps Mr. Frey is less certain of a British defeat.
Mr. Frey's opinion is worthless. Mr. Frey is quite naive about politics. My fields are art and literature. They are my sole concerns.
And Mr. Frey's reason for being here. He proposes to find all the artistic refugees and ship them to America.
Only degenerate artists need fear the new order, and you're welcome to them.
Except for criminal in due class. But they won't be around for long.
What will you do with them?
Most have been demanded by my office for return to the Reich to face charges there.
But what charges would lie against a painter? Poor color combinations.
Nothing so harmless. Most are wanted for debasing Aryan ideals.
In America, we leave that to Southern Democrats.
We take such things very seriously. Do we not, Colonel Schubert?
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. But, you know, my Jews aren't going anywhere. I have them trapped with nowhere to go, and soon we'll round them up. Any attempt to leave France will be futile. My police d'etat will be at the frontier, checking every passport with magnifying glasses. Every stamp, every entry. A forged passport will be a one-way ticket to a concentration camp, Monsieur Frey. For the holder and those who supplied it.
As it should be. The law is the law. But I am concerned with assisting needy artists in applying for legal exit and in offering such financial assistance as I can.
I would be careful about that as well, Varian.
Indeed. It's illegal to import currency. A foreign national caught bringing cash in illegally
Would be deported, if you were lucky. Unlucky means a concentration camp.
And then he would disappear.
For myself, I have private means. But my goodness, how dreary we have become. Too much talk of politics will do that, won't it? Make no mistake, I was there to be put on notice. One false move of the French and the Germans will be down our throats. It's time to get the above ground work up and running. Who knows, maybe someone on the list will happen by. Meantime, we hasten setting up the covert operation. Right here.
Safety. Fryer is a very careful man. Come on, you'll see.
What better location? This is one place French and German officers don't want watched too carefully, yeah?
Ah, Jean
Annie, my chérie. These are very brave Americans from my sport.
Attractive.
I'm no use to you, sadly. I have a bad cough and I'm probably scared of the customers.
Suivez-moi.
Mr. Fry, Mr. Fryer.
Come here. Admire this. Which is real, which is not?
Neither, both.
This is a legitimate one. Sit down. Here. You see here, look, on the official stamp, the real one, you see the small imperfection on the letter R. See here how it's exactly replicated on my copy.
And this?
Yeah, let's check. Turns out the local consul is a decent guy. He will issue a destination stamp to anyone who asks. And that's what you need to get out of France. A visa from any country that says they will take you.
Unless your name or face is well known, then you'd be stopped.
Too well known, like the ones on our list?
Varian, if people as famous as Chagall or Werfel or Mann or even Hannah Arendt turned up, the border police will immediately suspect a forgery.
By boat to Spain?
Impossible without one of your exit stamps.
Overland would be even worse. The Pyrenees are very unforgiving mountains, particularly for the kind of people you're speaking of. A trained athlete in his 20s would find it difficult, even if he knew the hidden trails, which we do not.
We cannot succeed if you think only of the obstacles.
I hate the stupid swine. Dressing up like 12-year-olds, destroying whatever they do not understand, which is everything that makes life beautiful and sweet and pure. I'm a refugee, a man without a home. I'm here for the duration, and I will help you. I will need blank passports. Doesn't matter the country. I need a photographic darkroom. I will need some inks.
We need to locate the rest of the people on the list.
I need a permit from the prefecture to open an office.
We need a map of the hiking routes out of France for the famous people on the list.
And money. We need lots of it.
Monsieur, I'm sure you will enjoy this building. And the lift is from Manchester. Welcome aboard.
Last of the good stuff, so I'm afraid from here it's going to be cheap wine and black market.
You worry too much, young man. Soon we will have a normal life again, and all the brandy we want.
Well, it was like that in the last war. Suddenly it's done and things are as they were.
But that war, we won.
So, Mr. Fry, are you any closer to taking us to dinner in New York?
It may be some time before I may visit my usual haunts, but all of you are closer than you may think. But I need your help. I have here my list. I believe the people sitting around this table could put me in touch with most of them.
Such activities can be dangerous.
Yes, but to justify the risk of the journey to the ERC, I must have a full group. You must do your part.
Werther's. Hotel Espérance, yeah?
No, the Hotel Beau Séjour. Near the Arab Quarter.
Yeah.
Past the Grand Café. Okay.
This is where you'll find Heinrich Mann. Most afternoons.
Alma knows where she can find. Go. Underneath my son. Alma.
Can you get them out?
I believe so, but I can't try unless I find those on my list, can I?
To try and fail.
Probably with his voice.
Well, that would be cruel to them, old man.
But she is.
Prenez votre numéro.
Le colonel Joubert me connaît. Il serait sage de me prendre au sérieux.
Centre américain de secours, is it? Just who do the Americans plan to rescue at the center?
We do not use the word secours in the sense of rescue, dear Colonel, but in its more passive meaning of help.
You're a queer doc, aren't you, Monsieur Fry? Or so you'd have us believe. Listen, you know, we're not fools. If this dandy-like behavior is an act, we will discover it. Germany did not conquer Europe by being gullible, Monsieur Fry. And France has not avoided total occupation by ignoring the strength of the new German order. So, be warned, Monsieur Fry. Be warned.
My husband was executed as a trade unionist. Then what will happen when the Germans demand that I be surrendered? I and my son.
Go to this address on Avenue Ney. It's the office of an American trade union, the AFL. Ask for Mr. Frank Baum. He specializes in cases like yours. Good luck. Next.
I'm Stravinsky.
Please sit down, Mr. Stravinsky.
I was concertmeister of Prague Symphony. I hope This is the right place?
Absolutely. I'll be right there. I'll just finish this.
Well, are we legal?
Yes. But it took effort. I worry. When Joubert sees through my little act, he virtually said as much.
Would you hold on? Great. So far, we've got 1.5 world-class symphony orchestras, a complete physics faculty with 2 Nobel laureates, and 3 truly fine hospitals. And now, I think we can get most of them out legally.
They're the easy ones. It's the ones on the list. The ones the Gestapo will demand. That's what worries me. How is this sort of thing done? Do we send out some legals, hope they make it through, use them as bait, see if Joubert really is onto us? It probably would be safe. Or do we act as if we may only have one chance? Round up the Werfels, the Chagalls, the others, and try to get them all through first. Risk everything on one roll of the dice.
It is up to you, boss. Whatever you say, we do. You know that.
That kind of decision is yours, Parian.
Veal, Angelo. How's the veal tonight?
Safe from the likes of us, Monsieur Fry. No doubt. All those little calves are being shipped to Germany. War reparations. So tonight, I recommend a nice plate of spaghetti aglio olio.
I was hoping for some kind of protein, fish or fowl or some meat. What have we in the way of that?
Spaghetti aglio olio.
Aglio olio all around, my friend. Bingham gave me 3 names. He recommended the name at the top.
Marcello. Rough company, boss.
So, any luck with the route map?
Fanny and I are working on it.
And as the matter of the list, if Lipschitz, Mann, Werfel, and the others are here, how do we persuade them to come out of hiding and trust us? Oh, my God. Follow my lead. Madame Joubert. Madame Joubert. Bonsoir.
Everything is going well at your office?
Très bien. Very well. Very well. Thank you. Oberstleutnant.
Good evening, Herr Frey.
Good evening to you also. May I introduce my friends and fellow Americans? Oberstleutnant Franken. This is Miriam Davenport from Massachusetts.
Hello.
And the Reverend Beamish from Mystic, Connecticut.
I hope one day to visit Massachusetts.
Oh, I'm sure you'd love it, especially the small towns like Salem.
And what a curious name. Where is Mystic?
Connecticut. In the middle.
You are starting again soon, no?
Absolutely.
I wish you a good evening.
And you. Albert, something's bothering you. You think we're being followed?
No. No one is watching us. That is what concerns me. The state police and Gestapo, they can't control Marseille unless they do business with the criminal gangs. Marcello is the big boss. No one watches him. They are on our own in the souk.
Ferry and Fry calling as directed.
تفضل استناو فيك يا سيدي.
Mr. Fry.
Indeed, sir. Thank you for seeing us.
Yes. Please. Please, you'll join me, yes?
Ahmad.
Mr. Fry, I collect shirts. I have thousands of shirts. The one you're wearing is very nice. London?
Boston, a man I found one at college, but it's not in the same class with you, senor. And that's a Turnbull and Asser if ever I saw one.
College in Boston, huh? Harvard? I have a grandson at Harvard. I have a lot of connection to America.
I'm aware of that, sir. It's why I came. I have a banking problem.
That's common in Marseille.
It's a pity because I have access to large amounts of dollars in New York.
Oh, fortunate for you.
But I can't import them. I'm seeking someone in Marseille with francs who would like to export them.
So someone who can present you with money here in return for a deposit of dollars in New York.
Precisely.
Mr. Fry, if the Vichy scum or the German pigs even knew of this conversation, I might find myself in their prison.
And surely I would be in the next cell.
Not if you were an informer.
Sir, do I look like an informer?
No, you don't. You don't. But you. Salut. Salut.
Bonsoir,
My
monsieur.
God, what do you think you're doing?
Play along. The cops are in the house.
Oh, dear.
A friend of Fanny's, lured the border commissioner here. He's the guy with the map. So just act like a client and we can go upstairs unnoticed.
Careful. You don't want to smudge Machado's bank account number.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, hello. So many assets you have. Yeah.
It's ingenious. It's thoroughly ingenious. And next stop, Spain.
Yeah, as long as no one is recognized.
Well, it's not likely. The border guards are all very lazy. They assume no one without proper identification will risk internment, particularly foreigners who know they'd be immediately taken up by the Germans.
Ah, so what the hell? It's worth the risk.
Even if it means death, which it surely will.
Yeah, even then. In this war, artists are becoming casualties. As a soldier, I never desert my wounded. He's as a wounded. I won't leave these people to the Nazis. It's good.
Good. Your banking instructions, sir, for the New York office?
The passports.
Yeah.
We have our map. I told him it was for rabbit hunting. Told him I'd give him a taste of my stew.
So it's decided then the weak and the vulnerable will go first. People like Ernst Lipschitz, Oscar Goldberg. Wait for a later run. Hardly where you'd expect to find a man like Franz Werfel.
To us, he's a great man. To the Nazis, he's just the degenerate author of the 40 Nights of Musadar. Come on.
I'm surprised Franklin hasn't already found him.
He and his wife registered under a false name.
Wise precaution?
Well, not that wise. It's actually the name of one of Mrs. Werfel's previous husbands. Hi, Madame Gustav Mahler.
Huh?
Could have been worse. She was also married to Walter Gropius.
Chambre 22.
My kind of woman, frankly. If you have to marry, do it often and only to interesting men.
You can see for yourself that these surroundings are hardly appropriate for a man of my husband's importance.
And for your good self, Madame Mahler, Madame Werfel.
I am unimportant in mere audience. But Franz Werfel is a treasure for the ages. Should he be confined by these ruffians in their silly uniforms, huh?
Absolutely not. Which is why we are here. Our task is to bring you and others like you to America.
Thanks.
So that Mr. Werfel can be free to write again.
I'm sure you're sincere, Mr. Fry. The French are happy to do the Germans' will. And the Gestapo
are only human, but we're clever.
The American is with you. I'm Heinrich Mann. My brother Thomas wrote to me saying that he had specifically arranged with you for my immediate travel to America.
Indeed he did.
Shit, Heinrich. For God's sake, stop yelling. You'll have all the police after us.
Oh, the French don't scare me. Shh. Nelly, give the man's hand and say, Arma, a little wine would be good. I hear Chagall is coming too. It's true. And that fellow, of course. Who else?
First of all, man, I've never said I was going anywhere. And secondly, stop shouting. We have no need to attract attention.
Who cares? What can they do to me at my age?
We're not all your age.
All the more reason to get out.
You make it sound so simple.
Perhaps there is less danger in hiding here than trying to leave France without exit papers.
Mrs. Mann, we have no wish to put any of you in danger. Everything will be planned to the minutest.
Message from Harry Beacon. Gilbert's big van up started. They're picking up all kinds of people. Chagall has been arrested. Harry can't try to get him out because he's not even supposed to know the man.
Where is he?
If we're lucky, he's still in the prefecture, but they're moving people from there onto trucks.
Dear God. Please excuse us, we must go.
God go with you.
Try to stay, please, out of sight. Be ready to leave in an instant. Please forgive us, we must hurry. You. Explain this.
By order of the state, all Jew foreigners are to be arrested. But who are you that I must explain myself?
I am the director of the Centre Américain de Secours.
Congratulations. For myself, your high office has the meaning of shit.
Shit will be on your plate, monsieur. You have arrested Marc Chagall.
But who is he? A Jew?
He is the world's greatest living artist and a French citizen.
But a Russian-born immigrant, and therefore possibly a Bolshevik, and enemy of the German Reich.
Be warned. If you insist on seizing this great man, your fellow French citizen, and handing him over to the Germans here in unoccupied France, I promise it will be on the front page of tomorrow's New York Times. That will be taken very poorly in my country, at a time many Americans are questioning our neutrality. An international incident, one that might even turn American opinion toward entering the war. Bad for one's career. Wouldn't you say?
Chagall. Oh, we are safe now.
You should relax. Are you all right?
My body is well enough, but my heart, Monsieur Frey. I never would have believed France would do such a thing. Not France. The mother of human rights.
You see, we must go to America.
Are there cows in the United States?
Of course there are cows and trees and fields. It's not all skyscrapers, Maître Chagall.
Then Bella and I will try to be happy there.
Would you wait with Maître and Madame Chagall until Miriam and I have cleared the building and then get them to Harry? Yeah. Tomorrow it begins.
You were quite a hero tonight, Varian. Quite a hero.
Not at all. It's just an act.
Oh, it was much more than that. I think you may be a very great man. One who has the courage to face danger, grave danger, if necessary. You once said that you found my sexual candor aggressive. And I told you that it was a defense. Well, it is. But not always. Sometimes it comes from a much deeper place. I should like to sleep with you tonight.
It's very kind.
Kind? Oh, well, I'm much better than that, Varen. You can count on it.
I'm sure that you are. Married man and all that, you know how it is.
Yes, I know. But we're in the middle of a war. Ships that pass in the night and all that. And you're a special man. And I collect special men.
Perhaps I am a little too special.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a great compliment.
Good night, Barry.
Yeah, it is as I thought. This is not the sort of man, if anyone can call him a man, of course, that we need fear.
I'm less sure than you.
ladies. Oh, what a lovely spot. Oh, you poor darling, to see your men carried off by those pigs.
On the worst day of my life.
Yeah. Feli's at home now. You should be at home resting. A woman must take care of herself.
So, you received our message?
Of course. I'm here, am I not?
So, you're coming?
Mm-hmm. What has become of France is intolerable to me now.
And Werfel agrees?
Of course. He always does as advised. But so many of us going together?
Yes. Heinrich and Nellie Mann as well.
Oh, God, I hope they could travel separately. You know, he's too loud to take anywhere.
Allah.
Mesdames?
I trust you understand Mr. Fry's rules.
Poor Hannah, so upset. Of course I understand, I'm not a fool.
All right. You will bring but 2 suitcases, one for each of you, right?
I said I understood. This Fry person's words, and will abide by them, absolutely. I don't care to be questioned. Werfel and I shall be there. We owe to Mr. Fry's mission. Do you not understand? These are to be put in my compartment. Hey, Heinrich, here, you understand French. What is this man trying to say?
I go find the...
Oh,
Mrs. Mahler, Gropius, Werfel, whatever, are you hell-bent on seeing us all interned?
no, but these must go with.
No, impossible. Select one, check in the rest, and consider them lost.
Franz, open it. Show him. Yes. Gustav Mahler's original manuscripts and others. Even Richard Strauss, a degenerate art, if you follow me.
Madame, if you are caught, these, it is certain death.
I'm fully aware of that, Mr. Fry, but I won't be. I'm very skilled at manipulating men. I'm in no danger if you but get out of my way.
But I cannot let you do this.
You can't stop me, sir. Besides, I should you. You claim to be rescuing the soul of Europe, where my suitcases carry much of its documentation. Please leave before you attract wrong attention. Have no fear. In the unlikely event I am discovered, I shall protect you and the others. Go!
Madame.
Oh, at last, a man of substance. I know you can assist me.
Joubert. I know. Find Chagall with Joubert. We have to keep Chagall out of sight. Yeah.
This for my luggage to be placed in my compartment. It's nothing but clothing, but very special to me.
But, Madame... All right. I'll make an exception for you. What's your name?
Allez, faites monter les valises, madame.
Joubert. How good to see you.
Monsieur Fry. Bonjour.
You traveling today?
You know, my roundup of aliens caused a great anxiety in the fugitive community.
Oh.
They scattered like cockroaches. So, I'm personally making sure that any we have missed don't slip through my fingers the second time.
Mm-hmm.
So, where might you be traveling?
Just a day off, don't you know? See some of the countryside, hike, the hills and the like.
Splendid idea. I'd enjoy a picnic myself. But alas, I am on duty, learning by studying Colonel Choupert's efficiency. But perhaps you and I might luncheon
Yes. Yes. Delighted.
Excellent.
Gentlemen.
Monsieur.
The painter's in the lavatory. I told him to keep himself locked in for the whole journey. He only agreed if Bella could stay with him.
The two of them in that tiny little toilet?
Yeah.
Now, if they get caught, they'd be held for lewdness, if nothing else.
Why can't the French run their trains on time?
I had you already in check. You cannot castle.
It was discovered, check. I shielded. My king never moved, and I can castle all I like.
Gentlemen, you are supposed to be strangers.
Fine, we are strangers. We have just met. We have a mutual interest in chess.
These are not mutual rules.
Damn it, we are not here to play games. Think of the risk, not just to you, but to the whole operation. If we fail this mission, no one makes it through. This is deadly serious. This is not a game.
My dear Fry, sometimes a matter can be so deadly serious, it may only be treated as a game.
Mr. Fryer, you look exhausted. Perhaps you should get some sleep.
Boss. Boss, you need it.
Oh, at last. Soon, Spain. In a decent hotel.
I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't feel good.
Lion.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Lion.
I can't do this. I
For
can't
God's
do
sake,
this.
can you hear me?
We do this. We might get...
Leon!
Yes. Yes. Mr. American. Fry, isn't it? I can go with you, Mr. Fry.
It's too late for that, my friend.
You have no idea what these French camps are like. No idea. It is as if you have been killed, but are not yet dead.
Lion, we will not be caught. This will go easily. By morning, you will be in Spain. By next week, New York, where you will be free to tell the world what you have seen, and that may save others. But you must forget the past for now. You are a soldier, and you must soldier on.
Boss, the Germans in the dining car.
Reminds me of spring in the Adirondacks in upstate New York.
I think only of the Schwarzwald. You know the Black Forest?
Yes, indeed, I toured Germany extensively before the war.
So?
Can imagine how you must miss it.
Indeed, yeah. But I'm a soldier and this is my duty. But you? What is your must for being here?
I suppose you'd say humanitarian?
A noble impulse. Did I not see you the other evening? In the old port. At a bar? I thought it was you.
Possibly. I often take long walks of an evening. It's good for the digestion, I'm told. It's so enjoyable.
You know, I also like to take long walks. Perhaps we might chance upon one another in Seville this evening.
Perhaps we shall. What?
He's still there. The patrons chained the gate, so you're safe for tonight. Where's the literati, Legion?
Beamish is making a bed check. It's getting worse, that cough.
I know all about my cough. We both do. It's probably TB, and it's probably going to kill me. But we're in Europe under Hitler's thumb. Very damn sight worse ways to die.
Is that ready for tomorrow? Marie?
Brandon's still keeping a close eye on Varian.
Going through the town is dangerous, huh?
It was one thing getting here from the station unseen. At least it was dark, and there were all the other passengers. In the light of day.
Yeah. We avoid the town. We leave from here. We go across country in small groups. Up this hill is a burned-out blockhouse joined to the trail. We'll reconvene there. We follow the trail all the way to where it rejoins the road right here, right between the French exit boundary and the Spanish frontier. So if you can avoid the French, you can arrive at the Spanish border with friars' perfect passports intact and in hand.
And the climb? Can our people do it?
A man so old and weak, Werfel is a defeatist who's likely to give up. Chagall is totally undisciplined.
It's not exactly the stuff of a crack mountain climbing team. And everyone knows that the border guards have orders to shoot any suspected fugitives on sight.
You yourself said mine there in Hitler's Europe, there are worse ways to die.
Okay, this is the landmark. This is where we wait for the others. We should rest. There's still a very long way to go. Are you okay?
Cool. Oh, so cool. Pure. Oh, look, Mark. All these colors are so like your palette. Mark. My Mark, what can be bothering you now? We have cleared the town.
My hope for humanity is in despair.
You are
but-
fine. Besides, you have seen enough cows. You will enjoy a skyscraper or two. Oh, my Mark, my Mark.
I found them! Oh, my shoes are ruined. See, I found them.
Oh, Bella. Oh. Oh, no. Careful, Franz. It may not be fit to drink.
We're in a war zone, and she's worried about dying from bad water.
Beamish?
The road is clear. We're alone.
So far, so good. We'll take a brief pause here.
Hannah, water. Yeah, thank you. Hey.
Sure, all right. You're all right now. Mr. Fry, I appreciate all that you've done for Bella and me, for all of us. But I am beyond my depth.
Would you really go back, Chagall? Have you used up all the great art inside of you?
Mark may have more to do, but I am old. And never more so than at this moment.
Listen to the self-pity. Here's a man whose whole life and work screams freedom. So now, when everything he says he believes in is at stake, he would rather surrender to the Nazis than do a little hard-physical
Who
work.
says anything about surrender? It was a philosophical observation.
Why do you argue? Do you feel manly to make each other seem foolish? I will continue up the hill because there's no other choice. And if I die at the top, then I am at peace. The Nazis can kill me, but they can't make a coward out of me. How far do you think they have?
About an hour, maybe more. And it will get steeper.
Come, Mark. He's only exercise.
She's getting worse.
No, I know.
He's gone. Left early in the morning. To hike, he said.
There's a clearing there. We'll stop for a minute.
Yeah.
Take a brief pause. We're taking a break.
All right.
Take a rest. Mark? Huh? Almost there. Get some breath.
Merci.
Let's see. Come on. Huh?
Should surprise anybody. We all knew it was coming. Come on.
No! I'm in charge here. And this is what's happening. Beamish and I will see these people through the Spanish border. You will go back to Cerber.
No!
Yes!
Jesus.
Take the train to Madrid. Claim what luggage you can. Please don't argue. Don't argue. Beamish, where's the toothpaste? I expect you to get our banking instructions to New York. When Albert and I get to Marseille, we will talk to Bingham. He will have medical help for you in Spain.
And what if you don't make it back to Marseille?
When you go back to America, you tell them who we are and what we tried to do and that we had no doubts. Go, Miriam.
Down, everybody down! Down!
It's your chairman from the train.
And Joubert.
About 5 minutes from the checkpoint.
At least 10 minutes hard trek from Spain. English, take these good people through to Spain.
And you, Mr. Fry.
I will be your travel insurance. Yeah. So that no enemy sees you before you're well on your way to freedom with your luggage. Now go.
We all thank you, kind sir.
Boss, the map.
The map? C'est Marseille. I fell off the road while hiking it. I just managed to climb back up and I saw you coming and I froze at the side of the car and I got scared, don't you know? I lost my coat.
Please, we will take you back to Sabert. Yeah, come on.